Just north of Sydney lies the mighty Hawkesbury River, a waterway stretching over 120 kilometres, winding through cliffs, bushland and valleys, known for its rich biodiversity and serene landscapes. It is home to countless native flora and fauna, but below the calm surface may lurk something far more ancient, something that defies explanation. Locals call it the Hawkesbury River Monster, a beast some believe to be Australia's answer to the Loch Ness Monster. Sightings of the creature describe it as between 25 and 35 feet in length, with a bulky, muscular body, covered in grey skin. It has long, flexible neck and a head shaped like an oversized football. Some have likened its appearance to the prehistoric plesiosaur, a marine reptile thought to have gone extinct millions of years ago. The Darug people, the traditional custodians of this land, have long spoken of the water creature known as Marulia. Cave drawings and Dreamtime stories passed through generations depict a similar beast, a serpentine guardian of the water. Could this be the same creature spotted by locals over the past century? Reports date as far back as 1924, with sightings from Wiseman's Ferry in the west to Broken Bay. At the river's mouth, one urban legend tells of a small fishing vessel found adrift, its crew mysteriously vanished. In the 1980s, a fisherman recounted a chilling experience. His aluminum dinghy was lifted several meters into the air by a massive force from below. He described a hulking shadow beneath the water, possibly the monster itself. Others say the creature may actually be a giant eel. Some have estimated its size to rival that of a 7-meter fishing boat. There's another theory. The Hawkesbury River Monster may be connected to the Mollywonk, also known as the Mooney Monster, a creature believed to reside in nearby Mooney Creek. This aquatic being, described by Aboriginal people over 3,000 years ago, is said to be a water dragon, its sinuous body stretching across rivers and creeks for kilometers. It is deeply embedded in Dreamtime stories, said to protect and sometimes punish those who disturb sacred waters. Could these stories be referring to the same entity? Is there a network of connected waterways housing a living relic from the prehistory? As we travel inland and northward, we encounter what may be the most iconic aquatic cryptid of all, the bunyip. The word bunyip originates from the Wemba or the Ragai languages of the southeastern Australian Aboriginal peoples. Descriptions of the bunyip vary wildly. Some say it resembles a dog or seal. Others report flippers, tusks, or even feathers, but the one constant is fear. The bunyip is said to be a man-eater, a plant-eater, a punisher of sinners, and a protector of sacred waterways. Traditional lore warns against approaching swamps, billabongs, or waterholes at night. Doing so might invite the bunyip to take. One notable tale involves a man named Mumborone, who was reportedly attacked by the creature. He survived, but with deep claws wounds across his chest that became part of his tribe's oral history. Another story tells of a woman vanishing while collecting water, with only her footprints left at the muddy edge of the Billabong. In 1845, the Geelong Advertiser and Squatters Advocate published an article about the fossils found near Geelong. The headline read, "Wonderful discovery of a new animal," referring to bones believed by locals to be from the bunyip. In the early 20th century, Researcher Charles Fenner proposed that the bunyip might actually have been a misidentified seal. He noted that southern elephant seals and leopard seals had occasionally travelled far inland via the Murray and Darling rivers, with the eerie bellows, smooth fur, and haunting eyes easily mistaken for something otherworldly. From the highlands of the east to the wide inland river system, we now visit Booberra Lagoon, a mystical site located in northwestern New South Wales. Here dwells a fearsome creature known as the Corea, a reptilian snake-like being said to inhabit the Barwon and Narwan rivers. Many Aboriginal communities associate the Corea with a variant of the rainbow serpent, a powerful entity in the Dreamtime stories representing water, creation, and destruction. The Corea is said to be incapable of travelling over land. Instead, it gouges deep channels from one body of water to the next. Locals claim that the shallow, winding channels near the lagoon are physical evidence of its movements. The deepest part of the Booberra Lagoon is believed to be the bottomless, and that is where the Corea rests. Fishing, swimming, or even paddling near these sacred waters is said to provoke the beast. Elders warn that those who ignore the warnings risk never returning. We end our journey far to the north in Queensland, at the edge of the Coral Sea. Here lies the Great Barrier Reef, stretching an astonishing 348,000 square kilometres. Its turquoise waters are a wonder of the natural world, but some say it's also home to an ancient predator, the moha moha, described as a giant turtle-like creature with a long neck and a dome back and a fish-like tail. Eyewitnesses' accounts date back to 1890, when a schoolteacher, Miss L.S. Lovell, while visiting Great Sandy Island, reported a close encounter with the beast. She described the creature as being about 8 feet wide and 5 feet high. She observed it from just 5 feet away for more than 30 minutes. According to her report, the creature raised itself out of the water, tossed the fish into the air, and then submerged with a powerful thrust of its tail. Over the following days, 8 more sightings were reported in the same area. Local Aboriginal tribes have long warned of the moha presence, describing it as violent and territorial. Some oral histories speak of villages being attacked while fishing along the coast. There are even stories that Captain James Cook, during his 1770 voyage, encountered an unidentified sea creature near the reef, and in 1964 a man named Jacob Black discovered what he believed to be a decomposing remains of the moha moha on a rocky shore across the vast and varied landscapes of Australia, from the Billabongs to the coral reef, the rivers to the lagoon. Tales of the aquatic creatures have endured for centuries. Are these creatures remnants of prehistoric life, spiritual guardians of a sacred place, or simply the result of a myth and an imagination echoing across generations? Perhaps, like the waters they hunt, the truth about these aquatic creatures of the deep still lies just beneath the surface, waiting to be discovered. We start our journey deep in the Australian bush, in the silent shade of the fig trees. Lurking here is a creature from Aboriginal mythology, and quite possibly the most horrific of them all, the Yarramayahu. Don't let its size fool you. This creature is described as a small, reddish, frog-like entity with a large, bulbous head and a toothless smile, and suckers on its hands and feet. This vampire-like figure hides up high in the fig trees, patiently waiting. It ambushes unsuspecting travellers, particularly children, by dropping onto them and using those suckers to drain their blood. But the terror doesn't end there. After the victim is weakened, the Yaramayahu swallows them whole, only to regurgitate them later. The victim is then left smaller, with reddish skin, and will eventually become another Yaramayahu. This truly horrific tale served as a crucial purpose in Aboriginal folklore. It was a cautionary figure used to warn children about the real dangers of the bush, encouraging them to stay close to home and family. Even early European colonists thought they had seen the creature, misinterpreted Aboriginal stories, and came to view it as a terrifying threat. We head to southern Australia for a creature straight out of prehistory, the Megalania, also known as a giant river lizard or devil dragon. Similar in fearsome appearance to the Komodo dragon, this creature was believed to be extinct, yet has been sighted multiple times in the last century. One of the first modern sightings was in 1979. A tired surveyor on his way back to his truck noticed what he thought was a fallen log near his vehicle. Heavily fatigued, he only described the object was not a log when he saw it bolt away. He described it as a lizard about 15 feet in length. Australia's most well-known cryptozoologist, Rex Gilroy, is utterly convinced these creatures are still alive. He was informed of multiple tracks across the field, about 30 of them that looked like they were made by an enormous lizard. Though rain ruined most of the evidence, Gilroy was able to make a plaster cast of one track, which is preserved to this day. It appears to correspond with the footprint of the Megalania. Another compelling witness was a farmer who saw a gigantic lizard walking along a wire fence of his property, using the fence post as a guide for measurement. The farmer estimated the creature was an astonishing 20 to 25 feet in size, a measurement that perfectly corresponds with the dimensions of an extinct Megalania. Gilroy maintains that it's only a matter of time before one of these colossal reptiles is captured or killed. The Yowie, often dubbed Australia's version of the Bigfoot. Sightings of this creature are frequent, reported everywhere from the rugged Blue Mountains to the lush Gold Coast hinterland and Springbrook National Park. The Yowie is a staple of Australian folklore, appearing in cartoons, on confectionery, and even immortalised in monuments. Some describe it as a peaceful, loving creature, others see it as a monstrous beast of the bush. Sightings are compelling and consistent. In 1977, former Senator Bill Ochie reported to the Gold Coast Bulletin that he had seen a Yowie during a school trip to Springbrook. He compared the creature to Chewbacca from Star Wars and described it as being over 3 meters, 10 feet tall. In 1996, a couple driving from Braidwood to the coast claimed they saw a Yowie-like creature, described as shaggy, standing upright at 2.1 meters, 7 feet tall, with no visible neck and disproportionately long arms. Most recently, in 2012, a music videographer claimed to have seen one in a remote region on the New South Wales Queensland border. Multiple reports across Northern Territory, New South Wales, Queensland and ACT ensure the Yowie remains one of the most enduring and cited mysteries. Next we move to another terrifying entity from Aboriginal mythology, the Barranjaw. Described as a giant bipedal lizard, its reported sightings suggest a massive creature standing between 20 to 25 feet long, with powerful clawed hands. The most intense reports came during the 1950s, when cattle ranchers in the Northern Territory began reporting a colossal creature eating their livestock, leaving behind bipedal tracks. The last reported sighting was in 1985, when a family travelling near the Roper River in Northern Territory described a 20-foot long monster covered in feathers. One chilling account comes from Brian Clark, who told the story of a man who got lost in the woods around 1978. A search party, including police and 2 experienced Aboriginal bushmen, went out to find him. During the night, the trackers woke up to a mighty thunderous sound that shook the very ground. After they finally found the lost traveller, the policeman's words were stark. If he ever went back into the woods and got lost again, they would not be looking for him. Was this the Barrenjaw they heard? Many believe it was. Despite over 30 years passing since the last credible sighting, many experts are convinced that this apex predator is not extinct. Australia is a continent of vast untamed wilderness, a place where history is as deep as the ancient landscape itself. From the protected, terrifying tales of Yarramayahu to the ground-shaking menace of Barrenjaw, the enduring mystery of the Owie, and the prehistoric threat of the Megalania. These cryptids serve as a chilling reminder. They remind us that there are still secrets lurking in the shadows, things that defy our modern understanding, and creatures that continue to patrol the edges of the map. Perhaps the greatest mystery of all is not whether these creatures exist, but what else is waiting to be found in the enormous unexplored heart of the Australian bush.